There are no words to describe that. Just when you think, right? Think about this. Just when you think it goes one direction, it goes the other. And it ends up going south at the end. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And tonight I'm going to be giving you guys the full results of WrestleMania 39 across both Saturday and Sunday. However, I don't even know how to describe this year's WrestleMania. Last year was pretty good, I'll give it that. This year basically just topped every single WrestleMania you could think of. Literally this WrestleMania topped every other WrestleMania possible. But before we get into the prediction video, it's not the prediction video, in the result video, if you guys want to see more premium live event results and predictions in the future, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And guys, we are now officially 46 subs away from 246. That is a huge accomplishment for me. And as I have said in previous videos, if this channel gets to 200 subs, you see it. It is a Korean Strike of Neos booster box that I will open up in its entirety on the channel once we reach 200. But if the channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel. As I put them back in my drawer. There we go. So if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, and you guys want more WWE and Yu-Gi-Oh content, which could be pack openings, deck profiles, premium live event predictions, results, WWE news, brand Yu-Gi-Oh card discussions, and of course, my weekly Monday and Friday episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue and Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And let's get straight into it, kicking things off with Night 1 of WrestleMania, where we saw Austin Theory defend the United States title against the GOAT, the 16-time world champion John Cena. And this was actually a really good start to WrestleMania. But before we do get to that, just a heads up, tomorrow will be a brand new episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. I'll be doing a sort of like a review, if you will, / rating, if you will, of WrestleMania. I did it for Stand and Deliver yesterday. If you guys haven't checked that out, definitely check it out. All I gotta say is get ready for tomorrow, because I can tell you this is probably gonna be a very interesting. That'll be a very interesting video. But what I find so interesting about the match between Theory and Cena was that this was basically the clear case of the young gun facing off against the old gun, and the old gun passing the torch. And with Austin Theory, he wasn't handed the torch. He took the torch. And the closing moments of the match, boom, low blow. Low blow to Cena when the referee was down, and he hit Cena with A-Town down to retain the United States title. Obviously, yes, that is a huge accomplishment for Austin Theory, but let's be honest here. Cena could have won. We all know. I truly believe John Cena could have won, and as far as what's next for Cena, there's really no telling what could be next for the 16-time champion. By the way, shoutouts to Brisk for regular lemonade. This and pink lemonade, two of the best lemonades of all time. Don't at me in the comments, people. But big shoutouts to Austin Theory. Congrats on retaining the United States title. Honestly, I was hoping that Cena would tie Ric Flair with 16 titles, but you know what? But you know what? I am A-okay with it. I'm okay with Austin Theory taking the torch away from John Cena. But we move on to the men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match that featured the Street Profits, the Viking Raiders, Alpha Academy, and the interesting team of Braun Strowman and Ricochet. This was actually Braun Strowman's first WrestleMania in 2 years. 2 years ago, he competed in a steel cage match against Shane McMahon. Last year, he was obviously released from WWE. This time, he's back. He was back on the grand stage. That is WrestleMania. But I'm gonna be honest. This was basically everything we had expected. We saw Montez Ford fly all over the place. We saw Ricochet do the exact same thing. We even saw Chad Gable hit Braun Strowman with a German suplex, which was unheard of. We even saw Ivar. Think about this. Ivar's like 350-something pounds. He fucking did a moonsault. That big boy did a fucking moonsault. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know. That was wild. That was a wild Fatal 4-Way. But the closing moments of the match, the Street Profits was able to actually defeat Braun Strowman and Ricochet in the men's WrestleMania Showcase match. I believe Montez Ford actually pinned Ricochet in the matter, which was pretty awesome. But now we move on into a match based on respect between the Maverick, Logan Paul, and the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. And Logan Paul always tries to outstage everybody. He's done that for the last year since he's been in WWE, and honestly, this time was no different. He actually zip lined from the top of SoFi Stadium, and he had his fucking Prime Energy Drink mascot with him. But who was in that costume? None other than fellow content creator and now a professional boxer, KSI. I never thought KSI would be a part of WrestleMania. That's so weird, isn't it? It's mind-boggling. Like Logan Paul, I can totally understand Logan Paul being a part of being in WWE, being a part of WrestleMania, but KSI of all people, come the fuck on. And once again, my fucking throat is screwing with me. Luckily, I've got a Ricola cough drop. Big shout outs to Ricola, not sponsored. Just really good company for cough drops. Halls I don't mind, but Ricola is where it's at. This was, so you guys know, when it comes to WrestleMania, Seth freaking Rollins always does a big entrance. This one was no different. He had a fucking maestro, an actual maestro, having the fans go, oh, like, absolutely insane. Seth Rollins, there's a reason why Seth Rollins is known as the architect, known as the visionary, the revolutionary. There's a reason why. It's because he knows how to play mind games. This time was no different. But this match was back and forth, absolutely insane. Logan Paul came this close from defeating Seth Rollins. KSI got involved. And he got hit with a frog splash from, through the Spanish announce table. And Seth Rollins with the wicked stomp and a pedigree to pick up the pinfall victory over the Maverick. This would actually be Logan's second loss in WWE. His first victory was last year's WrestleMania. Teaming up with The Miz to take on the Mysterios, and it It was insane. And then, of course, his second win was actually against The Miz at SummerSlam. His first loss was back in November at Crown Jewel in Riyadh against Roman Reigns. This would be his second loss. Shoutouts to Logan Paul. As I talked about, as I mentioned earlier in the week, there were rumors that Logan Paul was going to be leaving WWE. We don't know if he is or not. We don't know if he's going to renew his contract with WWE. We don't know. But if there are any updates on that, I will definitely let you guys know on the channel. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But since we're on the topic of Seth Rollins, we gotta mention his wife, the man, Becky Lynch, as she teamed up with her fellow tag team champion partner and another Hall of Famer in the form of Lita and Trish Stratus taking on Damage Control. And this was, you would think that Lita and Trish would not be able to go the distance as they did, but shockingly enough, they did. I was fairly surprised myself. And this was back and forth, non-stop, absolutely insane. Io Shirai able to hit a perfect moonsault from the top rope onto the outside. And at the closing moments, Becky Lynch hit Bayley with a manhandle slam from the second rope to pick up the victory with Trish and Lita. Thus, the rivalry between Damage Control and Bayley that dates all the way back to SummerSlam last year is finally over. Now Becky and Lita can focus on defending the women's tag team titles against whoever is up next, which at this point could be anybody. Could be anybody. For all we know, it could be Ronda and Shayna. It could be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It could be Natalya and Shotzi. It could be anybody at this point. Only time will tell. But Becky Lynch, there's a reason why she's known as the man. There is a reason for it. Now I did mention as well when I talked about the match between Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, I mentioned the Mysterios. Guess what? Next matchup, the Mysterios facing off one-on-one. Rey Mysterio, the now Hall of Famer, taking on his son Dominic Mysterio in a rivalry in a match that goes all the way back to last year, and it doesn't just go back to last year. This goes back 3-4 years, because 4 years ago, right around the time of Survivor Series, Rey wanted to retire. Dom said, "No, I don't want you to retire. I want you to stay. I want to be in this." He ended up being in it. Literally, like less than a year later, faces off against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam in a street fight. Rey and Dom became the first ever father and son tag team champions, and then the Judgment Day came in. Rhea got into Dom's head. Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. It's all downhill from there, and it finally came to pass. Now, you guys know this past Friday on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio reformed one of the most notorious factions in WCW history, the LWO, the Latino World Order, which was formed by none other than the Hall of Famer, the late great Eddie Guerrero, and this was with him, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde together. I fucking love it. I absolutely fucking love it. There are no words to describe it. Like, it's insane, absolutely insane. But this was probably one of the hardest matches I had ever seen. Like a match that you don't want to watch, but at the same time, it's a match that you need to watch because it was a rivalry that goes back over a year, and we saw Dominic Mysterio take Aaliyah's water, throw it in her face. Aaliyah tried to jump the barricade. It wasn't happening. Angie Mysterio, Rey's wife, and Dom's mother, slapped the living shit out of Dominic Mysterio. Dom, as Rey was trying to grab hold of Aaliyah, trying to put pressure back, Dom punched him. It was just back and forth from there. We saw Rey Mysterio take his belt off and just clap them cheeks. Clap them cheeks of Dominic Mysterio. You love to see it. It was bittersweet justice, but it was comedy at the same time. So it was a win-win situation for both Rey Mysterio and his family, and of course us as the fans. Rey got to punish Dominic Mysterio, and we got to laugh at Dominic Mysterio. So it's all good, but just cop them cheeks. And just when you thought it would truly be one-on-one, out comes Damian Priest and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. Both of them did indeed get involved. Legado del Fantasma, the rest of the Latino World Order, got involved as well. Dom tried to use the chain that was inside Damian Priest's blazer, and Bad Bunny, who's actually on commentary on the Spanish side, took the chain from him and was like, no. Sorry, bitch, you ain't using jack shit. And Rey Mysterio, the closing moment, hit Dom with the 619 and a frog splash to pick up the victory, and thus it was done. Rey Mysterio was officially done with his son. Now he can go back to SmackDown with the rest of the LWO and just dominate SmackDown with an iron fist. Who knows? Maybe we might see Rey go after the Undisputed title. Santos could go after the Intercontinental title. Zelina after the SmackDown Women's title, and of course, Cruz, Del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde go after the tag team titles, which is a possibility, but only time will tell. We don't know what their plans are. We don't know what's gonna happen. Only time will tell. But since we're on the topic of the SmackDown Women's title, and of course the Judgment Day, we move on to the other member of the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, challenging Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title, a match 3 years in the making. This was an instant classic. Like, the last time these two fought at WrestleMania, it was a good match, but it didn't have the hype that it should have had. This one, all the hype. This time, it was all the hype. And Charlotte Flair came this close from picking up a victory over Rhea Ripley, but the closing moments of the match, Rhea Ripley hit Charlotte Flair with the riptide from the second rope, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. Rhea Ripley has finally silenced Charlotte Flair and is now the SmackDown Women's Champion, which means all the members of the Judgment Day will be a part of the SmackDown roster, which means it might not be over for the LWO and the Judgment Day. I think the rivalry will be far from done from there. But with that being said, there was actually an impromptu random match that was made official by the Dog Father, Dog, D-O-G-G, father of WrestleMania, the Hall of Famer Snoop Dogg, where he made a match where it would be The Miz taking on someone. But the question is, who was that someone? None other than the return of Pat McAfee. We had not seen him since the Royal Rumble, and obviously McAfee picked up a massive victory over The Miz with a punt to the head. We even got to see Kittler, I think is his name. Kittler? Something like that. Lydier? Something like that. I want to see about something. I don't remember his name. I don't remember. George Kittle. George Kittle. George Kittle. Um, we saw him jump the barricade, clothesline the living shit out of the Miz. McAfee picked up the victory, which was insane. But then we move on into the main event, and this was the biggest main event in This was literally one of the biggest main events of all time. For the first time since the very first WrestleMania, we had a tag team match that was the main event. But for the first time ever in WrestleMania history, the tag team titles would be defended in the main event of WrestleMania. The Usos versus the team of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And I'm going to be honest, I was watching that match and I'm like, how? How in the hell can Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens just keep fighting? I don't know how. It was back and forth. Super kick after super kick. Splash after splash. Stunner after stunner. Haluva kick after haluva kick. Even a 1D to Sami Zayn. And it still wasn't enough. It still was not enough. This was by far the greatest WrestleMania main event I had seen in a long, long time. And the closing moments of the match, just when you thought the Usos was going to pick up the victory, it took not one, not two, but three haluva kicks from Sami Zayn to Jey Uso. And after 620 days, the reign of the Usos was done. It was done. Owens and Sami Zayn finally silenced the bloodline once and for all on their end, but now it's Cody's turn. The question is, did he really finish the story? Or did the reign of Roman Reigns, or will Roman's reign continue? You guys will find out at the end of this video. So we kick off night two with a colossal matchup between the Nigerian Giant Omos and the Beast Brock Lesnar. And as I mentioned in previous videos, there were rumors that Lesnar's contract was going to expire at the end of WrestleMania, which means that we may never see Brock Lesnar again. But if these rumors were true, you know damn well that Brock Lesnar was going to whip some ass. And this time was no different. Even with a damn near destroyed back, he was able to hit not one, not two, not three, not four. I think at least 7 German suplexes. And it took that many German suplexes plus a massive F5 for Brock Lesnar to pick up a victory. Now, you guys know, that ever since Brock Lesnar came back to WWE, all the way back in 2012, literally 11 years ago, Brock Lesnar, when it came to a big match, such as WrestleMania, such as SummerSlam, he was always in the main event. This time, the first time ever in his career, he was actually kicking off WrestleMania, which was insane. But Lesnar was able to defeat Omos with several German suplexes plus an F5. We move on into the women's WrestleMania showcase match that featured Shotzi and Natalya, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, or I guess as I called them on Twitter, Karen Mania. Karen Mania's running wild, everybody. And the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, who didn't even qualify to be in the match, but it is what it is. This was basically a squash match. I know that there were several like big key moments, like Ronda Rousey hitting, literally applying the sharpshooter to Karen Mania, which was pretty cool. This was okay, but at the closing moments of the match, Ronda tagged herself in, hit an R-bar on Shotzi, and a tap out. Thus, Ronda and Shayna have picked up the victory. Not much else to say about that. Next up, we have a big matchup. This was... I'm going to tell you guys right now, when it comes to the Intercontinental title, you know damn well it is going to be magic. It was going to be pure magic, pure bedlam. It lived up to the hype. The champion, Gunther. The challengers, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. These three men beat the hell out of each other. Boot after boot, clothesline after clothesline, neckbreaker after neckbreaker. Drew McIntyre and Gunther beat the hell out of each other with chops, knife-edge chops, just beating the hell out of each other. And it took damn near 30 beats of the Baldwin to Drew McIntyre. And this was absolutely insane. This was one of the greatest Intercontinental title matches I had seen since Clash of the Castle between Gunther and Sheamus. And even with all of that, excuse me, sorry guys, I got a notification from Facebook on my phone. Anyway, even with all of that, Gunther hit Sheamus with the powerbomb onto Drew McIntyre, then hit McIntyre with a powerbomb, and Gunther still reigns supreme, and the reign of Gunther will continue. I honestly, I don't care how long Gunther is champion. That was the greatest Intercontinental title match I had seen ever. But speaking of great champions, we move on to the Raw Women's title between the challenger Asuka and the champion who held the title for a full calendar year. Tonight marked a full year. Bianca Belair. This was basically the clear case. When it came to the fans, it was the clear case of Bianca as the big bad, the big bad villain, and Asuka being the big superhero. But this was back and forth. Asuka tried to use the green tried to use the mist. Bianca tried to use her hair. It was nonstop, back and forth. It was, Bianca obviously using her power against Asuka. Asuka using her submission game and her striking against the champion. But at the closing moments of the match, Bianca Belair hit Asuka with the KOD to pick up the victory over Asuka, and thus the reign will continue. So now the question becomes, with Backlash coming up really soon, the question becomes, is Bianca Belair going to actually beat Becky's record of a year and a month? Or is she going to drop the title before Backlash? Or it could happen sometime in the next few weeks, which is a possibility, but we don't know for sure. We will find out in the coming weeks leading into Backlash, which will take place in San Juan, Puerto Rico. But, The Miz last night had, apparently at WrestleMania across both nights, didn't have just one match, he had a second match. This one was against the return of Shane McMahon, and unfortunately Shane McMahon was, he got injured mid-match. So Snoop Dogg took over and punched The Miz not once, not twice, but 3 times, and hit The Miz with The Rock's move, the People's Elbow. Thus, Snoop Dogg wins a match at WrestleMania. But now we move on to a match that, I'm going to be honest, I did not think would ever come to pass. I swear to you, I never thought we would ever see it. Edge, the rated R superstar, channeling his inner brood, if you will, against the demon Finn Balor. Now you would think, because that Finn Balor is the leader of the Judgment Day, I'm gonna show you guys what the face paint looks like, and I took a screenshot of him from a reel off of Instagram, but I warn you guys, this is gonna be this is gnarly. Red, black, and purple paint, which represents the Judgment Day. It represents Finn's alignment with the Judgment Day, but it was inside Hell in a Cell. They did not use the red cell anymore. They brought back the silver. I was thrilled. I was happy to see the silver come back, but I'm gonna be honest. I would consider this to be the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time, because this was all over the place. There were purple kendo sticks, red kendo sticks, red steel chairs, purple steel chairs, a purple table, mind you, a fucking ladder, another table. It was pure chaos. It was all over the place. Finn Balor even tried to hit a coup de grace from the side of the cell onto Edge, who was on a table. That didn't work out. Edge threw everything in his arsenal at the demon. He even took a ladder and threw it at Finn Balor, and he was busted open, completely busted open. It was back and forth, absolutely just pure carnage. But the end of the match, Edge hit Finn Balor with a spear and hit the nail with a concerto to the demon. Thus the rivalry between Edge and the Judgment Day is finally over. Edge pins Balor inside Hell in a Cell. Now the main event of night 2 tonight. I'm gonna be honest, this was... You can't be surprised. You cannot be surprised about this. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the undisputed champion Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal title. You knew full well Solo Sikoa was going to get involved. You knew the Usos were going to get involved. It was pure... It was just... insane. Insane. Right when... Literally when... Every time the referee's back was turned, Solo Sikoa would get involved. First was a steel chair. Threw it back underneath the ring. Backed off. Backed off. Then, Solo Sikoa took the weightlifter's belt. Oh, hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. My brother texted me. Give me a second, guys. I apologize. There we go. Took the weightlifter's belt that he handed to Luke Harper's, John Huber's son, Brody Lee Jr. Took it, hit Cody Rhodes in the back with it, and the referee's expression was just priceless. He heard the whip, kicked Solo out, and Roman Reigns was all alone. He had nobody. All he had was Paul Heyman. That was it. And this was back and forth. The first crossroads to Roman Reigns, kick out. The first Superman punch, the first spear to Cody Rhodes, kick out. Drive by, a bionic elbow. It was back and forth. Everything you had to expect. This would have been an instant classic had it not been for the closing for the last few minutes of the last several minutes of the match. The referee was down. Usos got involved, hit Cody Rhodes with a 1D. The new tag team champions came out, ejected the Usos completely from ringside. The referee came to, went back into the ring, and right when Cody Rhodes was about to hit his fourth crossroads, because he had already hit the first one earlier on in the match, hit two more, and then right when he was about to hit the fourth, Heyman comes up, distracts the referee, and a Samoan spike from Solo Sikoa allowed Roman Reigns to hit Cody Rhodes with a spear. 1, 2, 3. You cannot be surprised that Roman Reigns would rely on the bloodline once again to win. Now, I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this? Which is this? Who in the hell is going to take the undisputed title from Roman Reigns? I want your guys' opinion on that, but I do have another question as well. Among the entire card across both nights, which was your favorite match of all time? Me personally, I think it would have to be the triple threat Intercontinental title match. That's just my opinion. Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event results and predictions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.